Okay, so you're gonna start now because we have the evacuation apparently in a few minutes. So I'm gonna quickly introduce myself, quickly introduce Growth Hacking Asia, what we do, who we are, then what is growth hacking in general, and then we'll go a bit deeper into a few channels of user acquisition. First of all, so there are only 3 startups right now. Decade is not here. For our socialers, how many users would you have right now? Just for me to have an idea, approximately.
Right now we have 3,000, but and 100.
Okay. For car rental, is there?
We already operate in 2 different cities in Bali.
Okay.
We have B2B and B2C.
Okay.
The B2B is supplier is right now 4 companies.
Yeah.
And then for user, the traction is 70. Right now it's 80 million.
80 million?
How many users GMV? How many users the transaction users?
Okay. And the users, like how many people are more or less using it? A broad number, just to have an idea. Is it 10 people? Is it 1,000? Is it 10,000? 80? Okay. And for the last one?
Ripple.
Yeah, Ripple.
We are not launching yet, but
Okay.
we have about 100 subscribers and about 1,000 audience in social media.
Okay. And when do you think you're gonna launch?
Sorry?
You're not launched yet.
But in
January. Okay, cool. Okay, so very soon. All right. So my name is Laurent. Call me. The French pronunciation is Laurent. The international one is in Laurent. So call me whatever you want. I'm French. I've been in Indonesia for 10 months now. I studied in Rocket Internet, so the Lamudi property website. I was BDM, so Business Development Manager. And then I took care of the whole operations, so the website, the quality control, the customer service, etc. Before that, I co-founded Links, which is a consulting firm in France, so specialized in startup. And before that, I was head of marketing in another consulting firm for both startups and bigger companies. And now I am Growth Hacking Asia country head. So we started 1 year ago, and we started really in Indonesia more like 4 months ago in July when I arrived. But I'm more going to explain what Growth Hacking Asia is. So the goal of Growth Hacking Asia is to help startups grow into success stories. So we are operating in 4 countries now: Singapore, Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur, Thailand in Bangkok, and Indonesia, mainly in Jakarta, and soon in Bali. So what we do is we have 3, let's say, big pillars. The first one is the event and the community building. So we do monthly events in all the cities we are operating in. So Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and in Jakarta. And during this event, we try to educate the market about what growth hacking is, about what digital marketing is, and try to build a community about these topics. Then we have the trainings, which is basically what is happening right now. So trainings with incubators, accelerators, VC firms, our own trainings as well that we held more or less once every month or twice per month. And we also have the bootcamp, which is a week-long training. That was the first one in October. That was the first growth hacking training in all Southeast Asia. That happened in Jakarta in October. We're going to have a second batch in December because we had quite a good success, so we decided to do more because lots of people were interested. And the last part is the growth hacking consulting services. So where we go into a startup, we help it create a strategy, the growth strategy. We help them implement it, train the people if they need to, and usually it lasts between 4 and 6 months. And between we try to make them as independent as possible at the end of the 6 months. So we try to empower them so that they're able to do the marketing strategy by themselves. So we don't work as an agency, like they outsource the work to us. We go in-house, we train their team, and then we expect them to be independent within 3 to 6 months, more or less. Depends on their capacity and their knowledge in the first place. So, who knows what growth hacking is, or who have heard about growth hacking first? Nobody has heard about growth hacking before. You have?
A little bit.
Is this the only one? Could you give YouTube? Could you give? You have an idea of the definition of growth hacking?
If literally growth hacking is like a growth is
awareness, something like that. The hacking is something like we have seen in the IT business, something like we use like like
Coding.
hacking coding something so it grows faster.
Good. Another definition, if you have one? More or less the same? Okay. So there are two common myths. That growth hacking is like a magical bullet, and you're gonna have 2 million users within 2 weeks if you use growth hacking. That's absolutely not true. And the second one is growth hacking is digital marketing or user acquisition. It is not true either. So we're gonna go a bit deeper into these 2 common myths. The first one, growth hacking, is like hacking the growth and having lots of users in a very short period of time. So viral growth is the tip of the iceberg. So when you think about companies like Dropbox, like Airbnb, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you name it, they had a viral growth. They grew very fast in a quite short period of time. But people just think about the tip of the iceberg, saying, hey, viral growth, they grew very fast, and they thought that they did one thing, and then the growth exploded, which is not, it could not be like farther from the truth. Because actually what is happening behind is a lot of processes. They created email marketing, they did social media marketing, they paid advertising, they did landing page optimization, SEO, whatever topics they have. And most importantly, nope. They went deep into analytics to understand exactly what is working, what is not working, because when you're a startup, you don't have unlimited resources, and you need to prioritize what is working rather than what is not working. So you have to try a bit of everything first, because you don't really know what is working and what is not going to work. So you try at a small scale, then you see whether analytics what is working or is not, and then you focus on the different channels that are the higher return on investment, basically. The second myth is that growth hacking is digital marketing. So digital marketing is highly focused on acquisition. If you go to a digital agency, you can say, okay, so our KPIs is to have 2,000 downloads within 1 month. Please do it. Basically, that's the case. And they're going to create a social media strategy, improve your SEO, create a landing page, nicely designed, nicely beautiful, everything. But then the thing is, acquisition is good, and you need to have this acquisition, but it's not everything. Traffic will not bring you money. Apart from if your business model is on ads, which I highly advise you not to, because it's too not unstable, basically. So you have to have this as users, but also make them come back to the website or to the app as much as possible. And it also includes like to work on your product in the first place. So like work on the stickiness of your product so that people come back every time because they really like it and they really like using it every single day. So this is a growth hacking funnel. It is composed of 5 steps. The first one is acquisition, second is activation, retention, revenue, and referral. The goal of growth hacking is really to optimize each and every step of this funnel. So we start, of course, with acquisition, because you cannot make people come back to your website if they haven't come in the first place. And we also work on the whole funnel to optimize and to see what is working and what should be get rid of. The first step is acquisition. So it's not very complicated, just getting people to the website or to your app or to your product, whatever it is. I have an example, but it's too easy. Activation is make people use the product of that, for example, sign up. So when you're on Facebook, you sign up the first thing you have to do if you want to go on Facebook or on Twitter or on LinkedIn, you have to create your account, which is a very powerful way to gather emails of the people so that you can afterwards make people come back by doing savvy email marketing, sending email that they were going to like, creating some content that they're going to like, so that you can make them come back to the website as many times as you want. Then referral. So to make referral working, you have to make a product that is sticky and that people like and want to share. So the best examples would be Facebook games, for example. Like if you think about what's the name, Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I think I had never played this game, but to go to another stage, you had to invite your friends. So that's highly social, and it makes the people like refer to their friends because they really want to go to another level. So that's the best way. Be careful on not being spammy either. So you have to find the right balance between being spammy and being potentially referable. So referral. Another example of referral is Airbnb. So they're really good at this. They have created this campaign, also PayPal in these early days created these campaigns of if you refer to a friend and the friend is signing up, you get, I think for Airbnb it was $25 every time you had a friend signing in thanks to you. So it's a good strategy, but it's not a long-term strategy because it costs a lot, like $25 per sign up, which is quite huge for a startup. So of course they got funded and they had money, but it's a good way to have this initial traction, this initial first 1,000 users that are going to spread the word after all. And also for their intention, they were highly personalized. So they were saying, hey, your friend Jason. So they really try to personalize as much as possible, showing that it's not like Airbnb who is inviting you, it's your friend Jason, because in that case you are more likely to sign up because it's a friend referral. And you had that even the code itself was not like AB5X712. It was the name of the person, which is really, really good. You can do that, but it takes time. And last but not least, the revenue. So this is more your job, guys, not really the growth hacker, but to understand how you're gonna monetize your product and how you're gonna use, for example, for an app, in-app purchases or subscription, or these different ways of monetizing your product. So if I had to give a definition, if you type growth hacking on Google, you have thousands of different definitions. I've come up with one, which is for me the process and the mindset of identifying creative ways to grow by mixing digital marketing and engineering. So the process and mindset is very important because it's a mindset first. You have to get this mindset of experimenting, analyzing, and then iterating based on what you've done previously. The process, because it's really a process, it's not that just, okay, we're going to do a campaign on social media and we're going to see if it's worked or if it's not working. You have to build this growth engine that you have a track of everything you do, like in a GDoc, for example. So you can see, okay, this is working, this is not working, and 3 months later, if you have some ideas, you can refer to this and say, oh, this was not working, so we're not going to do it again because it would be a waste of time and resources and money. So let's just try something new. So the process is really about growing this growth engine, basically, so that you can refer to it and it's scalable and it's repeatable all the time. Creative ways. Creative could be seen as cheap, so we can't use, as a startup, you can't use traditional media, you can use billboards, you can use TV ads, you can use press ads, whatever you name it. So it's really about finding ways, not really hacks, because hacks, there are a few hacks in the growth hacking history, but this is not the real truth. It's more about this mindset and this process of finding creative ways and mixing digital marketing and engineering. So digital marketing, because yeah, it's definitely the core of growth hacking. You need to know how to use social media, SEO, email marketing, lots of different topics. And engineering, because as you said, it's a lot about coding as well, and about product development. So what are the features that people like? What are the features that they want to use? So that's also one thing which is super important, to understand that you need to talk to your customers, especially at the beginning, because you need to understand what they like and what they don't like, so that you can quickly change your product into the product that you really want. So you have this idea of a product, of a service. It's your idea. It might be the one from your customers as well, but it might be slightly different also. So try to talk to them as much as possible to see exactly, okay, what do they want and what do they need to solve their problem. The experimentation process is more or less this. So you first begin with brainstorming ideas. So you have plenty of possibilities. You can use social media, you can use SEO, you can use lots of topics. You have to brainstorm, you put that in the GDoc, for example, all the ideas you have. And then you prioritize them. So how do you prioritize? You have different possibilities, but the best one, the most useful one, would be to rank the ideas. So you have a different coefficient. The first one will be the cost of the idea to implement. The second one would be the time, the resources needed, how many people, how much time it's going to take to implement the growth hack, the campaign. And the third one is the impact. So the impact is like your best guess. You don't really know if it's working or it's not working, but you think it's going to work. And thanks to this, so impact, the time, and the money, you're going to be able to prioritize each and every idea, because you might come up with like 100 different ideas, and you won't be able to use all of them at the same time. You have a small team, and you need to use the best one to quickly grow your startup. So prioritize them by using these three coefficients, and see what is the best one to start with. And then you can go to the other one, and continue until you don't have any ideas anymore. But that won't happen. Then you develop a hypothesis about this. So you think the template of the sentence would be, by doing this, I'm going to increase, by doing this, I'm going to include that in that percentage. So for example, if we put an explainer video on the landing page, we're going to increase the conversion rate by 25%. Again, it's your best guess. You don't really know how many percent, but you think that it's going to do this. And the more you do this, the better you're going to be into developing the hypothesis. The first one, it might be like completely wrong, but the more you do, and the more accurate you're going to be, the more accurate your hypotheses are going to be, which will be quite powerful to be able to forecast your growth, and therefore talk to potential investors or to incubators or whatever. Then you have to get shit done, test and analyze. Very simple. You implement this, and then you analyze and track the results, and then you systemize and iterate. So you systemize is that if it's working, you try to create like a playbook, or every single step you had to do to create this campaign, so that if someone else wants to do it, he doesn't have to refer to you or to ask many questions. He can just go to this template, to this playbook, and say, okay, oh, he did this, and did that, and then that, and then that. So it's really about making this cost efficient for everybody, time efficient, and having these different playbooks so that you can use them anytime you want to. Or iterate. So if your hypothesis was wrong, or if actually the growth hack was not that good because of whatever reason it did not work, then you have to improve it. Either you think it's not good, so you put it on the side. Either you think that you did wrong at some point, but you really feel that this campaign might work, so you're just improving it by changing a few numbers, by changing a few call to actions, or how to improve, for example, the landing page. And then you brainstorm again. So it's really a viral loop, and you're going to do this again and again and again. It takes time. It's never ending. Any big company like even Facebook or Dropbox or any big startup, not startup anymore, any big tech company, they always do growth hacking all the time. They always iterate, they always improve this, and that's how they became so big. Very simple. Not simple, but yeah. So did you get the idea of what growth hacking is, more or less, and how you can use it for your startup? Yeah? Cool. So do you have more information about what time? Or we still have at 10? Okay. Okay, I can just quickly do this then. So 3 answers you really need to have before even thinking about growth. Because if you don't have these answers, if you don't know exactly who are your clients, what is the problem, and how your product or service solves their problem, you're screwed. Because you're going to try to grow something which is actually not growable because they don't like your product and they're not going to use it. So you might have lots of acquisition in the first place because you're going to do Facebook ads and email marketing, and you're going to buy like an email database to blast some people. But eventually they're going to sign up, they're going to try your product, they say, hey, but this is absolutely useless, and they're not going to use it again. So make sure that you have these answers to before even thinking about doing growth hacking, before even thinking about acquire users, because if not, you're just going to waste resources and everything. So it's really about finding your product market fit in the first place before trying to having lots of users. So of course you need to still have a few, I would say between 5 and 10,000 users, that could be the best, to be able to see exactly what is the product market fit, because if you have only 100 users, they might not be really representative of the whole population of your users. So try to have at least 1,000, the best would be 10,000, but can be quite difficult to reach, to be able to really have this sample that will be representative of the overall population you're targeting, so that you can ask them questions, you can send them surveys, you can try to do some focus groups to understand better what they want and how you can solve the problem. Who has done focus groups here, and who has talked about with the customers about your product or the problem they're having and how to best fix it? Yeah. So what did you do exactly?
We meet them in their like a gathering, and we talk about our product and try to sell our product first.
Okay.
That's
So it was more a promotional event than a data gathering event.
Yeah.
Okay.
We only gather some insight,
Okay.
not gather data like questionnaire or something like
Surveys.
survey.
And so what would be your advice for the people who have not done it yet? How they can do something better than you have done? How can you improve what you've done? If you had to do it again, for example.
First of all, you have to have a list of questions to know the customer problem, and then the assumption, and also the methodology to quantify your problem.
Okay. And would you, like if I'm a customer, I don't really want to fill in your survey because I don't care, how would you make me fill it in?
Okay. First of all, I won't sell anything to you first. I will just talk to you, get to know you better, and then I will ask, what can I help? And then after you give some insight or something, then I will get you interested, and then I will pitch and sell my product.
Okay. And how did you get the people coming to your event? Was that people who were already using the app? Or it was people like you knew from a friend or whatever it is?
First of all, cold call.
Okay, cold call.
And cold call to the member of the association. So we target the car rental association, and then we cold call one of the member, park management.
Okay.
And then when they have an event, we just kind of
Crush it.
not crash it, but kind of we can we join your event to promote our product or something like
Crush
that.
Okay, that's good. And how many events did you go to? How many events did you go to?
Right now only one.
Okay. But good insight.
Yeah.
Probably quite good. That's a very good point. I'm trying to go to events, conferences, fairs of your industry, especially since you're at the beginning of the startup, so that you can gather insights and you can get known by people that you either they can be your clients, or they can be your partners, or they can be just like some networkers that will help you. Like, hey, have you heard of this company? How you have this guy? I know this investor. He would be interested in funding your startup, etc. So, a very good point in going to this offline event, especially for B2B. I'm still convinced that B2B to do offline for B2B, offline is still the best way to gather people because it's quite hard to reach. They're not really using LinkedIn, or not so much. They can go on Facebook, Path, Twitter, but this is not really on their daytime. It's more when they want to think about something else than work. So reaching them at this time might not be the best option. So going to events where they are here to network anyway. So this is the best place to crash or to get invited to, depending on your vocabulary. But it's really the best way, one of the best way to do it. You also raise your hand.
Yeah, we are on the repo. We take the interview methodology.
Okay.
We try to approach some kind of some category of people, and then we talk about how they we are payment gateway.
Uh-huh.
How they pay their purchase, online purchasing, something like that. And we also talking about the remittance with the Indonesian migrants that they have already back home to Indonesia, something like that, and they have difficulties to send their money from there to here, something like that. And we try and solve a lot of things.
And how did you, was it an online survey, like you send it to people, or you were at an event and you were asking questions directly?
No, directly.
Directly? Okay. And how many people did you interview?
For the general payment, it's about 30 to 40 people.
Cool.
And then the remittance is I only get 8 people.
Okay, yeah, more difficult.
It's more
Niche market,
Yeah.
definitely. And you did have good insights from these people.
especially about the price.
Okay. So knowing exactly how much they would be willing to pay for your service. We'll have to talk afterwards because I'm so very surprised of payments. It's a big thing in Indonesia, but you have so many competitors right now. I'm very interested to see what you're going to do. Should we continue?
Yeah, I
Or-
think so.
Yeah?
Let me check if you can.
Okay. Because I was just talking to the evacuate.
If I can ask something,
Yeah, sure, go ahead. If you have questions, don't hesitate. Like, interrupt me, just raise your hand. No issue.
about the referral code, how's your idea? What is the better idea? Do you hide the referral names or referral username on the code, or
Random code.
you make it as a random code? What is the better idea?
So the best is to have the name of the person in the code, but it takes more time.
But it takes more time.
Because random code, that you maybe you've heard of Glim. Glim is a tool that is enabling you to do contests and some referral programs. So they give you random codes, random links that you can send to your friend. But if you can, the more personalized it is, the best it is all the time.
You know, sometimes people don't want to have their name on the URL
Okay.
because they don't feel like I'm begging for.
Okay, so it's more. It also depends on your product. Like for example, Airbnb, since you're sharing this to your friend, and you're giving them 25, basically because when you were sending the email, you were getting $25, and also your friend who was receiving the email, sending in, was receiving $25. So in that case, it's good to put the name because it's as if I was giving you $25 and you were giving me $25.
Everybody's happy right now.
Yeah, exactly. So
Not some random people.
yeah, it's not a spam at all because you're getting money out of it. So that is true that if it can be spammy, yeah, definitely do more random code so that you don't really know who is sending it to you. But eventually you will know because you will have the email or you will have, you will know where it comes from. But yeah, and it's way easier because if you want to put the email or the name in the code, it takes more time into the development because it has to be done in-house. Like I don't think Glim proposes this kind of services. So they can create this random code for everybody, but they cannot create this per person code.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
But it's like already they have a name, but it's hidden. Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, or URL, something like that. Making something.
Yeah, for you know PayPal history? Like when they created, everybody was getting $10 in the very early days of PayPal.
I haven't heard about that.
So this was their way of creating traction. Every time you are referring to a friend, you are getting $10. So okay, it's good, but it cost a massive amount of money. But they were founded, and it was back in the days with Elon Musk, with all these brilliant minds. So they had lots of cash, so they were able to do this. But you have many ways to do referral, and it doesn't have to be cash. The incentive doesn't have to be cash. It's good if you can, but the problem for you, it would be okay for cash. But the problem for all the other product is that you might have some people who do it because they want to have the money, but then they will never use the product again. Rather than if you sell, for example, like a coupon for your product, or like a, I don't know, a small goodie, but related to your product, it makes more sense because the people who are going to use it are the people who might use your product again. It's the good balance between acquisition and retention. If it's good to have lots of acquisition, but this didn't come back to your product, you're not going to make any money out of them. So it's a bit useless.
They already started.
Already started? So should we evacuate or?
You should.
I guess until they stop.
Okay, so we're going to continue because I have to leave at 11, so don't have so much time. We're going to talk about 3 or even 4 channels: social media, content, and also SEO. I put SEO in it, and paid advertising. That's it. That's it. That's it.